Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. Not like we haven't done it before, but let's do it again and maybe even better this time. We're going to show you what normal blow-by is in the traditional blow-by. When people use the term blow-by, that is an amount of pressure, if you like, that blows past the rings because it's never like 100% seal, and therefore it needs to go somewhere, and you can sort of see how much there is by taking the oil cap off, right? Otherwise that pressure is taken care of via the ventilation system connected to the valve cover. Okay, so we're going to start the engine. Going to take that cap off. You don't need to do this. There just seems to be a lot of questions and posts around, oh, you know, is this normal? Everybody wants to go, is this normal? Look, you don't need to do it and worry about it. Okay, not only on, this is a 1KD, but people on 1KZs, everybody, oh, you know, is this normal? You know, is this, you know, and the cap's dense around, of course it does normal blow-by. The only time you might want to take the cap off is because every now and then, when a 1KD fails, you generally know what it is. If it's running rough, if it's had the maintenance done, it's had the injectors done, then it's probably going to be a cracked piston. Maybe you left the injectors in too long, maybe contamination, whatever the case may be. This is not about that. It's more about when a 1KD goes bad, generally it's going to be a cracked piston. So this is a really good way to diagnose it, and this is what normal looks like. After you watch this, you can go and search our channel for, you know, what a cracked piston looks like videos. Okay, so first let's get the engine started. Don't take too much notice of that squeak. That's because this engine's done 180,000 Ks and we didn't do the big front engine job. I don't know what happened, probably just the timing belt. And those bearings, they get a bit tired, and a little bit of tiniest bit of water gets in there and on belts and bearings and that, and they get noisy like that. That's why you do the big front engine job. Alright, let's have a look what goes on when this oil cap comes off. I don't actually want to move the cap out the way because it's going to blow oil everywhere. This is nice and clean in preparation for an injector job, so, but, you know, if I let that go, you know, it's going to just sort of like dance around. Because we haven't got the intercooler cover there, it's not going to hold it in place, but it's a standard kind of, you know, there's nothing to see here kind of thing, you know. Leave it loose like that, and you know what'll happen. It'll slowly undo itself, and eventually it'll pop off and you'll lose it. Not a big problem. Okay. No big deal. It's going to spray a bit of light oil everywhere, not bad. We're going to clean this up again after the job anyway. Nothing to see here. You know, it's just a smooth, I suppose, you know, you can see a bit of oil there, right? I'm going to describe it to you what it's like, okay? So, because it's hard to see in a picture, isn't it? So I thought we'll just take a little bit longer. Just let me give this a bit of a polish up. Just make sure there's not too much mess around there, you know. And there's not. Most of it, I think, goes straight up. It's on my hand, but, you know, there'll be a little bit. We're going to clean it all up again after the job again anyway, so no big deal. Okay, so I'm going to make some funny noises for you to have a laugh at. So with a normal engine, you know, if I put my hand there, it'd be like if you put your hand in front of your mouth, right? Let me just fix this up again. We'll just zoom out a little bit, right? It'd be a bit like you put your hand in front of your mouth and you kind of went like, okay? So it's really consistent, like you feel it, at that engine revolution. So, okay, I'll give you an example. We can actually work it out here. We can do the mathematics. So, engine's idling at 700 revolutions per minute, right? So, those that are good with mathematics, you'll do this quicker than me. Those that are a bit slower, you'll go, what's he talking about? So, you'll have to trust me, and I might get it wrong. So, don't trust me. You can look in the comments and see the mathematicians that can give the answer. So, the engine is turning around 700 times per minute, okay? 700 RPM, revolutions per minute. There is 4 cylinders, okay? So that means they're only going to have their cycle once. Hang on. So anyway, what I'm trying to say, let's keep it simple, right? Divide it by 4 is what I'm trying to say to you, right? Divide it by 4, okay? Divide it by 4. So 700 divided by 4, we'll just keep it really simple. What's 700 divided? Well, 600 is 150. We've got 100 left. So it must be 175, right? Because if you divide 100 by 4, it's 25. So 150 plus 25, 175. So 175 times in a minute, each cylinder is going to go in my hand. That's about 3 times a second, right? So it's pretty... Sorry, 3 times... what am I saying? Yeah, 3 times a second, yeah, because at 175 a minute, revolutions per minute, if I worked it out the right way, I should have thought about this before I started the video. But anyway, hopefully I've got it right. I think I've got it right. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be right. Yeah. And then 175, we've got a minute. So, you know, if it was 180, it'd be 3 per minute, right? So anyway, take my word for it. Again, the mathematicians, correct me. I do make mistakes every now and then. And sometimes it even looks like I made a mistake when I didn't, which is even more exciting. But so approximately 3 times a second, right? The engine is going out that hole, okay? Does that make sense? 3 times a second, so it's pretty quick, right? Now, so you've got a real, that's why I said, if you put your hand there, it's just like going, kind of like every time your lips chap together and apart 3 times a second, right? You're going to get the same effect. So if you can get your lips going 3 times a second, then you're in business. That's exactly what it feels like without getting a dirty hand, but you might get COVID-19, so be careful. Depends whose hand you're spitting on. Anyway, wash your hands after the exercise. Now, when you've got a cracked piston, what happens is the compression that would be blowing past the rings blows past big time, because it's not blowing past the rings, it goes straight through the hole in the piston. So therefore you've got a really massive amount of compression, more than the normal, right? Now, if all 4 pistons had a crack in them, then it'd be really, instead of like, you know, I don't know, little machine gun, I don't know, Uzi, 9mm, right? It'd be like, I don't know, one of those miniguns. What little rounds do they have? Let's just go the M60. I think they're 600 rounds a minute. There you go. Anyway, so the point is, right, you're going to get it really even still, but a lot bigger if all 4. But all 4 haven't, right? You've got generally 1 with a cracked piston that's blown a hole in it. So you've got the compression from 1. So 1 in 4, if you understand what I'm saying. 1 in 4 is the feeling. So you'll just feel this. If you've watched the videos, you'll see the chuff and you'll see the smoke, right? You'll see the oil, the burn oil, this, you know, you'll see it's kind of like this. I'm going to do it. You ready? You ready? Chuff, 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 like that. About that fast at idle, right? So it's 1 in 4, where if all, because what's that? That's probably every 1 point. Okay, so if we said 3 a minute, so that means it's 1 chuff about every, look, ballpark, it's about once a second you're going to get a chuff, right? Where you'd be getting, what did I say? 3 chuffs a second if it was all of them, right? But because it's only 1, divide 3 a second by 4, which messes up. So it's a bit over a second. Once every over a second, you're going to get a chuff, kind of, if I've got all my mathematics right. But it doesn't really matter at the mathematics, whatever, right? All that matters is chuff, chuff, chuff. You'll see it. The bloody thing will be going chuff, chuff. It's a massive amount of compression. It won't be like it was before. So no need to put videos up going, oh, you know, is this all right? Because this is all right. So if yours is like that, it's all normal. Stop playing with, you know, is this going to be all right? And is this what's happening and whatever? Don't over tighten those, just nicely so that you can see you don't want it to come loose, but it's just got to stop, you know, it's just got to not come off, right? We don't want to have to go, sometimes it's like we've got to get people like, I don't know how tight they do it, because look, if I go and just keep going on it, I'll still come over here and still comes undone easy. So the ones that I've actually got to get multi-grips out on, I don't know how tight you've done it up, because I just gave that a little bit extra. It just needs to be kind of like that, you know. I'm pretty strong, so it's like, not, you know, I'm not acting tough or anything, I'm just saying, you know, like fairly strong kind of thing, you know. If you just kind of go like that, that's it, it's not going anywhere. It's just got to, it's a cap, it's not holding the engine together, it's not stopping the oil from draining out. You could probably drive around with it for a week without it on there and it probably wouldn't matter. I don't know how long it would take to, at that spray rate. I suppose when you're driving it might be different, so don't try that. Anyway guys, I hope that's explained kind of a bit more detail on what's normal blow-by and a bit of a description with all those funny sounds that I made and a bit of bodgy mathematics. Hope you got something out of it. If you did learn something and you understand a bit better, please give us the thumbs up, right, with that band-aid on that crack seal ongoing problem. And yeah, if you haven't already subscribed, turn that bell on so you don't miss the next important bit of information. Thanks for watching. See you guys.